presentation last time. Today, I'm going to talk about two additional aspects of business process flows. First, I'll focus on showing you how to set a new process with a workflow, and I'll briefly show you how to run a workflow, how to set up a new business process flow manually via the switch button. And then I'll say a few words about the security rules for business process flow and how to create a security role for a specific business process flow. To help us imagine the situation, I'll have come up with a scenario. So let's imagine that we are working for a membership organization, and we have been tasked with creating a business process flow, or rather two business process flows that can be shared between two sales teams. Just before I go on, can you all see the screen?
Yes.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you. So let's imagine that you are working in a membership organization. You are working for a membership organization, and there are two teams. We've got two sales teams. We've got one sales team that is responsible for working with prospective members for the company's standard and silver membership, and those colleagues from sales team are account managers, probably starting account managers who are learning the craft of client management. And then on the other side, you've got the premium membership engagement directors who have been with the company for a while, and now they are responsible for managers premium prospects. So they have a separate business process flow to work with, and they will be responsible for giving those premium members more customized person experience. Okay, so I'll demonstrate that in the CRM. Let me know if you can see my instance.
Yes, I can see that.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Great, thank you. Okay, I'll come up with, I'll use this this sample lead I have created. My Wi-Fi is a tiny bit slower than I was expecting, but hopefully it will give me the results. Okay. So this is again a very real life scenario when something stops working when you run a live demo. Yes, I just need to wait for a second for it to load. Okay, I'll have probably a tiny bit of silence in this video. I'm trying to make my laptop work a bit quicker.
if Wi-Fi is a problem, do you wanna?
Hmm.
Oh, you've got more.
Yes, I've got one option, but it seems this connection seems to be quite strong, so I'm not sure.
What's going on? So
yeah.
I logged into your organization.
Okay.
If you want to, or if this doesn't work, I don't know if I can share my screen and then give you permissions to move through it.
Yes, we can try that. There was one role that I couldn't give you for some reason, Anna. So I won't be able to show the full spectrum.
Well, you can make
But
an
let
admin afterwards. So
Sorry?
you can make me an admin if you want. So this is the difference on my thing, but I'm not sure how I can.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know how to give you access to move in my one.
Let's just off.
Did your one? Do you see mine?
No. That's fine. We'll get there.
Let's see.
Okay, I think it might be working again.
Okay.
It did work very well before. Okay, I'll try going to the business process flows via the solution. I'll see if that is going to work a bit quicker. No, okay, it doesn't seem to be working any quicker. And the fine, perfectly fine. Okay. I'll close off.
Hello, is she still there? I think she dropped. I was just looking on how to go on Google Hangouts. I don't know how to do. Well, I don't know how to do that. But this is Anya's instance. I've got her leads and everything. So let's just try to see whether she can reconnect and whether it will be working better. And if not, I'll ask her to guide me through her process, and I'll do the clicks. I'll basically be her assistant for this. Hopefully she'll be able to log in. Let me show you the murals to see how much he's done. So he's done opportunity, leads, connections, which was the we were talking about charts, but we've covered this quite a lot with Jessica's presentation. I think that's enough for what we need. He's got goals, he's got currencies, sales territories.
Okay, I think I'm back again. Apologies. I'll try to share my screen again.
Yeah, do it again.
Okay, can you see my screen again?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
So I will now, perfect, thank you. I'll go now to my solution. I'll start showing you the business process flows from the back end of the CRM. So what I have done prior to this session was to create 2 business process flows on the lead entity, starting with the lead entity. I have my lead to membership process flow as the main flow, and then I have the lead to membership demo copy business process flow, which is my premium membership business process flow. I will, if you have a look at the lead stage of my business process flow, you will see our standard steps, data steps within the process. But the additional aspect I have added was this workflow step. Coming back to my scenario, we are in the membership organization. We want one team to be managing standard membership prospects and silver membership prospects, and our sales team is going to base this decision on the number of years a prospective client has within a profession. So in my data step experience in years, I have 3 options. I'll show them when I show you the business process flow from the user experience view. But the idea is that if a prospective client has 5 to 2 years experience in their career, and our user has set this specific value, we will have a workflow that will kick in, and it will switch this base lead to membership business process flow to a new business process flow that will be visible to the account manager, the senior account manager. In order to add a workflow in the business process flow, we first have to create it via. We first have to create it and add it to a solution. I have already done that, and I'll demonstrate a few details behind this workflow. So just so that you have a better overview. I have created the workflow called Switch Lead to Premium Membership Process. And this workflow up in such a way that when I create a record of a lead, so a record is created, and if my field, years of experience field will change, this workflow will kick in based on specific criteria I'll have set up in this section here.
Sorry, just to
yes.
Just one thing. You should run this workflow in the background as well.
Okay, sure. Oh, right. Okay, so I have to deactivate it to amend it.
Yes. So that it kicks in.
Perfect. Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
So a background here. Workflows can be means you click a button for them to trigger, and the one this workflow is what it lets everything else carry on. So for example, the system won't wait for the workflow to run before it does anything else. So that's why I said tick the box, because otherwise it might not work in the when you do it, when you're moving your processes.
Sure, perfect, thank you. But because in my scenario, I wanted this workflow to start specifically when the experience in years of my potential client is between 5 to 10 years, the important aspect was to select this option here, start the workflow when a new record is created, so when we create a new lead, and when a record field changes to a specific value. Sorry, when it just changes. So you have an option to select what field will change in this view here. I have selected experience in years and have marked this as a selection. This is just a very quick overview to show you how what criteria I have used to set up this workflow. In here, I have created a condition to say if on my lead entity, the field called experience in years equals 5 to 10 years, then set the process to my premium membership process. And again, just a very quick glimpse into the settings. So in here, I have set up the value for the new process. It means that the process will go from the base process I had in place to the lead to membership process demo copy. And the target entity we're looking at is our lead. Okay. Now I will try to demonstrate that this actually works, and it should. All right, okay, but just before I do that, I wanted to show you the difference between this lead to membership demo process flow and the new business process flow. My target lead to membership process flow is very similar. However, in the second stage, in the opportunity stage, there are a few steps for the account manager, account director to verify. So when I run a test in a moment, we'll be looking for a new process to kick in with the membership type field, existing contact, existing account, city. And as you can see here, there is no record of the workflow. And what we'll be looking for in the second stage of the new process are those two fields, mentorship participation and professional certificate pass verified, because this is something that I would like my account director to look at and verify when they go through the process of approving that premium member. Perfect, okay. I can see here that I have created this lead an hour ago. What I wanted to see is this the correct business process flow, which does appear. Our main process is lead to membership demo, and this is the business process flow that our sales team, whether they are the premium managers or standard and silver managers, will see as in the first instance. What I have added in this first stage of the process is this field called experience in years. Here on the actual form that this experience in years field also is here. I had to add those fields separately. So if you add a field to a business process flow, it doesn't automatically appear in the form, but it can be added just so that this information is surfaced and our users can see those fields on the actual form. So when they close the business process flow, they can very clearly see that field.
Just another thing to mention there. So you would add, first of all, if a field is mandatory, and if you add it on the business process flow only, but the field's mandatory by how you've created it, you won't be able to save the record until you've filled in the field on the business process flow. So the point is here that the business process flow should really be independent from the form. So when you have a mandatory field, you have to add it on the form because it's something that you really have to fill in. That's one thing. And then the other thing, even if a field is non-mandatory, some people want to print out this form. So usually print out, you can print out the form out of the box by default. And what they do is they print out the form, but you can't print out the business process flow. So if you don't have, if you go under more, Anya, if you go under more, you see a print value there. So this is very important because sometimes people will just print it out and then walk to their colleague and say, oh, I've got this information. So this is why so from the Word templates, the out-of-the-box template only gets fields from the form, so not from the business process flow. So this is why we need to, this is why we should add it to the form.
Yeah, so the print preview is just in here. Yes, I'm just waiting for it to load, but
it's probably very big. Don't worry about it. Look,
okay,
see,
sure.
it shows you the whole form, but it doesn't show you the things on the business process flow. So you can't. So you definitely need the membership, the experience, and the membership type if you are talking about a client. So that's why you would add it on the form.
Oh, that's perfect. Thank you. Oh, really interesting. Okay, thank you. Okay, so coming back to my process, I know from my conversation with a prospective client that they have had 5 years of experience, let's say 6 years of experience in their career. I will save the record. Let's say and now I had to refresh the page for it to work, so I'll try again.
You have to refresh the page for it to work because because a workflow is a workflow is a background process, so it's it works on the back end. It only works after you've saved the record, and then you have to save it back.
Okay, so let me just go back this way.
So it probably has changed it in the background, but you just can't see it yet.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if you go next stage?
Ah, right, okay.
Does it
Oh yes,
change
so it
it?
will go. It will go to the opportunity, but because I set this process on the lead entity. Let me see. Yes. I wanted this particular workflow to kick in on the lead entity.
I thought it showed standard membership a second ago. Did you see it change?
No.
Oh, I thought the top left said standard
Yeah,
membership.
I got it as well.
Oh, okay.
Can you
Let me
remember what you
just-
did?
I went to a different lead. Oh yeah, so probably that's what she saw. Yeah, so this is a different lead.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes. So if I go back to my first lead, this is the business process flow you should see, lead to membership process demo copy. So if I go back again there to this one. No, not there yet. Okay.
Okay, so for this, let's go to, so click next to Anfran, yeah. Click next to her to see related things.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So underneath, yeah, and over there. No processes. Oh, that's fine.
Yes, I think, are you looking for the system processes?
Yes. But related to this
Yeah.
entity, I should have them.
Yes, that's something I would be expecting as well, but I can't see it here.
Okay. Go to settings and system processes just to see what brand in the background.
Okay.
Even though if this was successful, you have picked the delete any successful processes.
Okay.
Switch lead succeeded. So it worked. Clicked on it, yeah, just to see what it did. So if years of experience has been set, view properties.
Yes, so it should switch it to the demo copy.
So this is all set up correctly. Summary trigger.
Is it not a caching issue with the browser?
It may well be. It's the first time actually using Safari for that, so it may be that.
I've never used that either.
Okay. Okay. I'll come back to this particular lead. But just so that I can continue with the presentation, I wanted to show you the lead that the workflow has already worked for. Okay. I think if I qualify this lead, it may help. Let's see if that works. No, it hasn't. Oh.
Okay, no. I'll try it on mine as well, on a different browser as well, and I'm sure everything will work fine. But the point to take away from this is that we can actually add workflows. They did work, but this is a live demo which is prone to failure because it's just the way it works. But yeah, and the idea is very good anyway.
Thank you. Okay, so I'll just show you an example of that workflow again. It has worked for the lead, Kate Molly, and I can see here that I qualified this particular lead a bit earlier on today. And if I were to go just to settings again and see in the system jobs, okay, it may have deleted it. Yeah, I was expecting to see the same for Kate Molly, but it's not there. That's something else. Fine. Okay, but the idea was that because in the initial business process flow, I have experience, as we can see here, 5 to 10 years. It has given me the new business process of the lead again, and now a premium membership account manager. Continue with my process. I have set up my membership time to premium membership, and if I go to the next stage, I have already an available opportunity. And once this, you will see that we'll have the 2 stages that our account manager will have to go, account director will have to verify with the client. So whether they participate, whether they have participated in the mentorship program, have passed the professional certificate. And in my scenario, these 2 are the criteria for progressing with the premium membership that has further benefits or more benefits than the standard membership. So this was the idea of creating a workflow and attaching the workflow to the business process flow, so that depending on a situation and depending on the situation, the business process flows will change. There is also another option to switch a process if necessary. So the same, if let's say we had 2 teams and they would be starting with a very similar process in the first stage, but then depending on different criteria, they needed to switch to a different process flow, they can do that manually as well. And I'll go back to my lead to do this. Okay. The way to change the process manually is to go to this, this icon here, which is the process control menu. If I click on the drop down, I have an option to switch process. If I click on this, I have a list of processes that I can change to. So if I were to go back to the very first, if I were to go to the out-of-the-box lead to opportunity sales and select, we'll see in a moment the updated chevron. So yes, this looks very familiar. This is the standard out-of-the-box lead to opportunity process flow. And what's quite interesting, and this is something Anna you mentioned, which is really useful, is that a form and the process flow can be are independent. As you can see, we've got the out of the box business process flow activated, but the form itself doesn't change. We still have the same form that shows experience in years, membership type for that particular lead. Okay, and so this is the business process flow aspect I wanted to showcase. What's also quite useful is the managing security roles for each of those. I'll go my solution. Okay. And if I go to my very first lead to membership process demo. Okay, so let's imagine that you have now implemented this business process flow, and your and the organization that you are working for has said that you want that they wanted only the account directors to be able to see the premium membership business process flow. What's really useful is that when you create a new business, then straight away edit security roles when creating the business process flow. So if I click on the edit security roles option here, I will see a list of all the available security roles for a particular business unit. And now I have two options. The first option is not the recommended option. So now we have to create a security role that will allow the account director to see that specific business process flow. Just for our information, there is an option here to create a new security role, but this is not the recommended way of doing things, as you will see in just in a second. If I were to create a security role from scratch, every single tab in here is empty. So you can imagine that it will be really hard to even come up with permissions for the security role and decide how to set it up correctly. This is very difficult. So what I have done instead is to select a security role that, let's say, in my opinion, yes, so let's say that there is a security role that matches different permissions sorry, I got a bit confused here. So I know that in this option I have the sales manager role, which has options enabled, and these options are very close to what I want to achieve with my new security role. So rather than creating a new role from scratch, if I go back to my list, I'm going to select the sales manager role, and under more options, I'm going to copy this role and just rename it. And in that way, you still keep a copy of the default out-of-the-box security roles that Microsoft gives you in the instance, and you are keeping those privileges and permissions and moving them to your copied role. So I already have one created, but I'll continue now. continue with the demonstration. Okay. So now I have my new security role created, and I have named it so that it's relevant, and it will, our users will know straight away what this role, who this role is for. If I go to sales, I can see again that all of the permissions have been copied over from my sales manager role. And now I wanted to, if I want to update it, I can. Let's again imagine the scenario that the company says, we don't want anyone to be able to delete any records from the sales entity, from the sales module. So I'm able to just toggle over the delete button, the delete wording, and in that way, I'm going to switch off the option for users to delete records. I'll save that. This will update now. Okay, but more importantly, now I want this security role to, now I would like our account directors to be able to see the business process flow for premium membership that I have created. So if I go to the business process flows tab, I can see my lead to membership process demo copy appearing. And again, if I toggle this row, I can manage the privileges here. So let's say that I would like the manager, the premium director, to be able to do all of those things: create, read, append this process flow, except for deleting. And again, this security role is specific to the business process flow. So the create would mean that they are able to create a new business process flow. Read would mean, again, that they can see the business process flow. Write would mean that they can edit the actual business process flow. And so on. So if I save that.
Append and append to are for relationships. So the append and append to roles. I know there's someone who works in with security. Maybe it's you, Anya, isn't it? Know more about the security roles, but the append and append to are useful when we have a lookup. If we don't have append or append to, we are not able to add a lookup record on our primary record. And in our case, we won't be able to set this if we don't have these two rows. We won't be able to add any lookups in our business process flow.
Thank you. Okay, so I have set up my security roles. Let me just try and find them out. There we go. Okay, I have saved. I can save and close now. And okay. So if I now publish all of my customizations, any changes I have made, either to the business process flow, will update. And while this is publishing, just as a final step, let's say that we would like a specific colleague to have access to the security role. So I would go, just as a reminder, I would then go to the system and then security and assign a particular role to a user. Oh, I just wanted to see the view, a previous view. Okay. So if I select Anna's record, I should have an option here, manage roles.
Load fully. You can open my record and you have it on under the form as well.
Ah, right, this is my browser.
It's your browser not letting you do your stuff. You need to use Internet Explorer or Firefox, Chrome. They work.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
there we go.
Manage roles.
Yes, perfect. Okay. Another slide delay, sorry about that. Okay. Yes, my browser is not letting me do my job, which is not great. But the idea is that if I were to select manage roles, hopefully we'll see that it will allow me to select what specific role I would like to assign to this user. What's quite useful is that if we have, let's say, 10 people belonging to the same security group, or if we have 10 people who would need to go to the same security group role, it would probably be worth creating a team. But this is probably something that another exam will cover, customizations exam.
Yeah, it goes into customizations, and I would debate that we should create a business unit and not a team.
Yes.
Experience. Teams don't really work
yes.
the way we assume they will work. The customizations exam, give us that information, but this is still useful because when it often happens that you create a business process flow and then your users will say, we can't see it, we can't use it, and then you troubleshoot for a long time until you realize that you didn't give it the right permission.
Yes, that's correct. Okay, so it has worked now. I have clicked on manage roles, and now we have the option again of all of those roles we can choose from. So previously I have created this role, premium director. I'll just keep it like this. But as you can see on the very top, there is another one, account director premium membership role, which I have created. So if I click on OK, I'm now happy with this. I hope this helps, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anya.
With the distance and the Wi-Fi and despite of the browser and everything, it still worked very well, and thank you for that. It was very
Thank you.
useful.
Great. Thank you very much for your patience.
It was quite thorough and in-depth. It showed me quite a bit. Thank you.
Yeah, it's new
Oh,
things.
sorry. I didn't hear this very well. Sorry, what was that?
I said that was quite thorough and in-depth. It showed me quite a few new things. Thank you.
Oh, perfect. You're welcome.
Yes, so great. Once again, Carrie, let's keep in touch tomorrow, and let me know how can I help for this exam.
Thanks, Anna.
And good luck on Thursday, and I can't wait to see you on Thursday to celebrate the victory.
Okay.
Great.
Good
Bye,
luck with the
guys.
exams.
Thank you. Bye.